Get off me!
Easy, Sergeant! It's harmless.
I apologize for the sedative, but until we know how far along you are, we have to consider you a threat. I'm Major Richard Blake, Director of Advanced Tactical Ops at SERPA.
Where are you taking me?
SERPA Research Facility in Iceland. Survivors of Project Abraham undergo mandatory testing before entering the mainland. It's just protocol, Sergeant. Answers will come in due time.
Hello, and welcome to my PlayStation 3 review of Resistance 2. This game, I have to be brutally honest straight away, I wasn't a massive fan of Resistance 1. I thought it was okay, but I didn't think it was brilliant. Thankfully though, Resistance 2 has really raised up the bar. The game plays completely different to the original. It feels so much more polished, it feels so much tighter and neater, and I can't say enough good things about this game. If I'm honest, it's brilliant. The gameplay feels really fast. It's very intense. There's a lot of areas and a lot of sections in the game where you will be just bombarded by enemies left, right and centre, and it's constantly just action-packed all the way through. It's really hard to fault it. The control system kind of mimics the COD 4 control scheme, which works very well for it. It definitely makes perfect sense because you can now look down the sight of the gun without actually clicking the right stick, and just switch in and out between the two very quickly and very easily, allowing you for more accuracy with less faffing around. For me, it works a lot better. The enemies aren't as tough as they were in the original Resistance. The enemies don't seem to be like bullet sponges like they used to be. It was a case of where you attack them, even a basic grunt in Resistance 1, you would use almost a full ammo clip just to take them down. In Resistance 2, that's not the case. The regular enemies, they drop like flies really easily, but then you'll get some big guys in the back who actually are very tough, and those are the guys that you have to look out for. But the system and the mechanics work so much better. It just feels brilliant. It's a great game. I really can't say enough good things. I can't. The graphics are stellar, in my opinion. They look amazing. I haven't seen a single point yet where the game looks bad at all. I mean, the enemies look amazing, the environments look great, the weapons that you hold look really, really tight, really nice, like, polished and clean. It's just a great looking game. It's one of the best games I've seen on PS3 so far. I would rate it right up there with Uncharted and Metal Gear Solid 4. There's no way around it. It's a sight to behold. If you're playing it in full HD 1080p like I do at home, then you will really appreciate the visuals in this game. I mean, it is something else. The sound side is good. You actually hear the grunts kind of communicating with each other now, instead of it just being them groaning when they get hit. It's like you can now hear them shout, like kind of like growling orders to each other, and it adds to the level of intensity. And they don't just sit around and wait to get hit. They will actually try and flank you. They will try and fool you. They are actually very intelligent, and there are some set pieces in the game which are amazing. It's like the bosses and just some of the creatures in this game are just on such a huge scale. They are enormous. And yes, sometimes, for the most part, it does boil down to remembering pattern sequences, and once you know the pattern sequences, they're easy to kill. But even so, the fact that you're facing something this huge and it can kill you literally in one hit, it just adds to the intensity for me. I mean, the boss battles, taking on the Kraken, the first boss that you do, if you're not expecting it, you're not ready for this, just this huge thing raising out of the water and then just like growling at you and trying to eat you. I mean, it is just amazing. It truly is. The lizard boss as well. I'm not entirely sure what it's called at the moment, but it's not hard to kill. But if it gets one shot off on you and it manages to hit, you are just dead, outright flat dead. And it just adds a layer of intensity that you don't seem to get much in boss fights these days, especially in first-person shooters. It feels so epic and so huge, and for me, it works really well. I absolutely can't get enough of it. I mean, I have replayed the boss fights before, just for the sake of doing it. Onto the multiplayer now, though, and this, for me, it just carries on the awesomeness. It's where the game really shines now. Resistance 1's multiplayer, it was good. Many people liked it. I can't say that it was a bad game because it was popular as hell. But even so, for me, Resistance 1 wasn't balanced right. Resistance 2 is balanced perfectly. The humans and the Chimera, they aren't actually off balance with each other. They have got exactly the same levels of health. They have got exactly the same levels of weapon abilities and stuff like that. Whereas in Resistance 1, if you were on the Chimeran side, you had more health and you had the advantage of being able to see through walls when you went berserk. Now that has been shared across the board. Everybody has the same abilities because the humans are now the hybrids, which makes it so much better. And I mean, the maps are excellent. The gameplay speed is fast and frantic. It's kind of like a good go-between between Unreal Tournament 3 and Call of Duty 4, so you get a good level of tactics, but on top of that you get a good level when you're in a really big gunfight of fast and frantic action, and I can't get enough of it. At the moment, I am completely and utterly addicted to this online on this game. I'm addicted to the single player as well. I can't stop playing it. It's just amazing. The 60-player matches, I was a bit skeptical of these at first. I didn't think they were going to work, but after playing numerous of them, as of yet, I have never experienced any lag whatsoever. They are phenomenal. I mean, having a match where it's just 30 on 30 and it's absolute carnage and absolute mayhem is just, it's amazing. It is. Because they were just targets to shoot everywhere and you're getting shot at left, right and centre. I mean, there is just so much going on that at first it can be a bit overwhelming, but once you get used to the intensity, it is brilliant. All of the game modes work. The standard team deathmatch works. The skirmishes are really good fun. Regular deathmatch is good. I think every single aspect of this game is just perfect. I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10 like I haven't. It does have a few problems, like the physics have a little issue where the physics, sometimes I've had boxes when I've walked near them, they've flown up into the air. But I mean, these are only minor nitpicks. I mean, overall, if you own a PS3, seriously, you have to get this game. Well, that's all from me. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and I hope to see you next time on another video review.